All right, guys, let's see what's going on here. All right, we got cut up, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're back though. We're back. So now, if this is gonna be your first time seeing this, I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. Basically, I help you to become your best version. I help you to become healed. I help you to remember to reconnect to who you are, to become whole. You know what I'm saying? For you to be at your, I don't know, like anything like your highest. I mean, I'm just here to serve you to be you a better version of you. Regardless of how you're looking at it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. But anyway, going back to the whole conversation, I strongly suggest, for you to check out part one because, there's a whole bunch of shit that we talked about. But the one thing I didn't quite talk about yet on that other one, but again, it was defined. But I like to take the time to talk about spirituality, but it's all in a circle because, you're talking about the same thing in essence. You know, to talk about spirituality, that's because we are spiritual. Do you see what I'm saying? And for the most part, the more conscious you become about you, I mean, that's when you become spiritual. So the whole idea of, because, a lot of misconception when it comes to spirituality, right? People always think it's something outside of them. Do you see what I'm saying? Or it's for the monks. It's right there. It's religion. Whereas this shit got nothing to do with none of it. It's all of your fucking life. Because to understand your essence, that's why you tell a man you want to change the world, well, change yourself. You want to make the world a better place? Well, make yourself a better fucking person. We have the power to manifest all of that shit in your regular life. All of the fucking decision that we're making, or either you were raised with mom and dad, there was no mom and dad, all of that shit that you're dealing with it from a fucking emotional perspective. Meaning you're dealing with this life, although you're looking at it just from a physical or material perspective, but yet it's truly you're looking at it from your perspective, your inner self. So to set yourself free or for you to grow, that's when you have to know who you are. And the more you know of that, the more free how this is that's the whole meaning of knowing thyself will set you free. Because now in those looking at this life from a suffering perspective, from all this bullshit perspective, then when you adopt that Godhead mentality, you have changed that reality. And like I was saying before, how you change the reality, it's not by neglecting saying, there's no people dying, there's no people that there's no, all of that is taking place. But it's also taking place because of their perspective. Because at the end of the day, it's niggas killing niggas. And it all start with it's chaotic. There's a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why those of us who are of light, you know what I'm saying, you gotta see it for what it is. In fact, that's where your compassion is going to come from. That's where the whole you forgiving them, regardless of what they do, comes in. You see what I'm saying? This is adopting that Godhead mentality is to adopt your essence. But for you to do that, you got to transmute the reality, meaning you got to see beyond the veil. That's why now you got to have a positive outlook on shit instead of talking about positivity. What does that mean? Okay. Like motherfuckers be talking about positivity like nothing bad happens. No, that's a fucking illusion. What we're saying here is obtaining a highest understanding of what the shit or what the fuck happened. Yes, it's bad, but did you also learn from it? Do you get what I'm saying? We're not denying fucked up shit doesn't happen, but do you learn from it? And if you learn from it, how bad is it? Is it bad because you're not looking from the perspective or from the lesson that is teaching you? Or is it bad because you don't even see the lesson in it? You see, when you start seeing beauty in shit, then you start seeing beauty everywhere. That's what it means by you working on you, you change the world around you. Niggas. Adopting the Godhead mentality. That's like, yeah, that's Job. That's the motherfucker, I can't recall his name, that felt like maybe, I don't know, thousands of the Ford nigga. And then when they ask him, well, did you like, no? The nigga said, no, I'm not. In other words, winners never lose. Well, winners, though, doesn't mean that you're not losing or a loss. It's not that you're not losing. You're not losing, but that doesn't mean you didn't take a loss. See, there's a difference between taking a loss and losing. So if you took a loss, and trust me, and that's why it's important too for you to become to understand and transmute your emotion. That comes with a level of understanding, but also understanding the emotional intelligence behind the pain. Did you get the lesson? We're not saying they're painful. In fact, this path is the path of the one, it's the less traveled path. You know why it's less traveled? Because only you got to walk it. In fact, it's just, they say it another way, and I love it. If there's a path in front of you, that ain't your path, nigga. You just following the footsteps. I mean, your path, it's gonna be there's no path. You create that path. That's your path. You gotta pull out the machete. You know what I'm saying? Be like old goo chopping up shit for through you. I mean, for you to create that vision. Oh, only you could do it, baby. Now I have done it. I'm showing you the path. And I'm letting you know that path, that's what it's gonna look like when you create yours. This is just the guidelines, Nick. But ultimately, you gotta put the work in. And nobody could do that for you. Seems like every time I have some good news, I also gotta give you some bad news. I know you love to see me, but I'm also bad. You're bad news. Too bad for you. Too bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what being a blessing and a curse is at the same time. We're here to bless those, and that's why we were granted access to place judgment because it comes from a pure state. So that's why when I judge you to the judgment, there's no coming back from it. How do God say like is slow at at his wrath? There's a certain way that they actually say that shit. Well, that's me, nigga. I'm slow at getting there, but when it's there though, there's nothing you could do about it. And judgment been placed on you, nigga. And everything I do and say is always gonna be righteous. Because I'm connected with that. You know it too. Oh, you're gonna find out if you don't know it. So fucking dumb. Dummy. Anyway, adopting a positive outlook perspective, that's what you need in life. Because not everything, and that's what you gotta have. That's when you you get to see gold in trash. What that truly means is that when you don't judge a book by its cover, you get to appreciate the book for what it is, not because of what it looks like. What it looks like, that's the trash, that's the material, that's the illusion. That's why adopting a Godhead mentality is for you to see beyond the veil. And that simply means you understanding your emotions too. Because this is all of those non-tangible aspect of you that you have that has to become alive. That's the awakening side of you. That's the being born again that has to take effect. You got to give birth to that motherfucker. You got to be born again, and that's what that meant. Because you were born on the physical, meaning being a living corpse to a living mind. That's the transition that you need. That's what becoming the illuminated one. You are the fucking Illuminati if you know who you are. That's why I can never relate to what you niggas are talking about, man. Oh, the Illuminati's doing this.